A very good evening, and thank God it is a Friday, starting off this newscast tonight with some good news from Pope Francis, who has appointed Bishop Raphael Pimon Wokorach of Nebi Diocese as the new Archbishop of Gulu. Bishop Wokorach is to take over after the retirement of His Grace John Baptist Odama, who has served as the Archbishop of Gulu since 1999. The announcement was made by the Pope Nuncio to Uganda, His Excellency Louis Bianco, this afternoon while in Nebi Diocese for the celebration of Caritas Week. Wokorach, 63 years of age, has been the ordinary of Nebi Diocese since his appointment by Pope Francis in March 2021. He was consecrated and installed as the fourth bishop of the Diocese of Nebi on the 14th of August 2021 at the Immaculate Heart of Mary Cathedral. Bishop Wokorach was born on the 21st of January 1961 at Ojigo Village, Wadelai Catholic Parish in the then Diocese of Arua, present-day Arua District in the West Nile sub-region. Bishop Wokorach was ordained priest on the 25th of September 1993 at Wadelai Parish in Arua Diocese by Bishop Martin Luluga, the Bishop of Gulu at the time. He served as a priest in the Roman Catholic Diocese of Nebi until the 31st of March 2021. He is a member of the Komboni Missionaries of the Heart of Jesus. According to the statement, His Grace John Baptist Odama has been appointed the Apostolic Administrator of the Archdiocese of Gulu until the day of the canonical possession by the new Archbishop. And now, following President Yoweri Museveni's cabinet reshuffle last evening that saw the first son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's loyalists, Balaam Barugahara as State Minister for Children and Youth Affairs and Lillian Abe as the State Minister for Relief as new faces on the cabinet, political analyst Joseph Ochieno has weighed in on the political appoints as a move to make a way for them to take over. Let's take a look.
Last evening, President Yoweri Museveni made changes in his cabinet, introducing several new faces and firing others. In the reshuffle, Museveni named Invets promoter Balaam Barugahara the State Minister for Children and Youth Affairs, replacing Honorable Sarah Mateke. Lillian Abel as the State Minister for Relief, Disaster Preparedness and Refugees. However, notably, Abel and Balaam, who serve as regional vice presidents on the first son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba's Patriotic League of Uganda, are known to be loyalists to the first son. According to political analyst Joseph Ochieno, he calls the reshuffle a cleansing of the process.
It's interesting that Balaam, the lead campaigner, mobilizer, organizer, chief for would be what is now called Muhoozi Project, which recently was calmed down when the public were getting concerned into some kind of mini pressure group, which is hardly 1 month old, and he is now a member of cabinet officially of Mr. Museveni. And yet the organization that they were representing until the other day, they're presenting themselves as an alternative to NRM as we know. Beyond that, a number of other interesting personalities, but beyond Balaam, I find biggest interest also in Lillian Abel, who's a Kitgum legislator, young, closely always together with Mr. Muhoozi, and the confirmation that Ugandans must confirm from this is that this cabinet reshuffle is a cleansing process, a preparation for Muhoozi to almost certainly take over from his father.
Asked if the reshuffle has been designed to calm down the Muhoozi Patriotic League or curtail their ambition of politics. To him, this isn't clearly the case, and he adds that if it's so, then it's a sign that the president cannot outrightly say no to his son.
Possibly. That was a design to calm down these guys, maybe to curtail their ambition, maybe to make it much more difficult for them to talk politics. But Mr. Muhoozi has used his Twitter handles when serving as a senior military officer before being dropped down a bit by being appointed as a presidential advisor to talk excess politics that perhaps even a foreign affairs minister could not, simply in this occasion because he's Mr. Museveni's son and got away with it. Now, there's no indication that Balaam and Abear were people who were so jobless, so desperate, that it needs Mr. Museveni to appoint them to a certain particular position to calm them down. It's not quite clearly the case. So you could argue that Museveni is doing that, yes, to make sure that they're held within the discipline of the household. But that is if you want to assume that this is a regime that operates within a legal fraternity, legal framework, or an organization that necessarily cares about public opinion. On the other hand, if you want to argue that that's actually the case, then you would argue very strongly, and you would be worried, and Ugandans would be worried, that it's a sign that Mr. Museveni is not able to tell his son no. So in which case then you are basically blackmailing them by crediting them with privileged positions by being ministers of state and in the military sense, appointing Mr. Museveni to the most important military position in this country. So he basically effectively away from the commander-in-chief, which commander-in-chief can be anybody so long as the leaders of the nation state called the Republic of Uganda, the most powerful, the most senior military position in this country is the army commander. And you have an army commander who's actually politicized, an army commander who's seeking direct political office, an army commander, in any case, who's a son of the president, an army commander who's reached the position in his ranks, including general, if I may say so, through patronage by simply being the son of his father. So that is extremely worrying.
We also asked the public about what they thought about the recent reshuffle, and some say that it has been a surprise, while others expressed disappointment.
This is a usual thing which is always happening, because when you are dealing with such governments, because there's nothing new we have seen in this government. Obviously, all the shuffles which are made, they are obvious. Because, for instance, if you have reshuffled some MPs, some MPs who are the MPs from Bugisu region, I can give an example, because we know there have been the fracas of the stealing in Mabati or iron sheets. But as well, we have seen there are many people who have been such issues, but they are left behind in the cabinet. That simply shows that in this government we have those people, and this also is a message to other people that if you get opportunity, never think that if you are playing with the son of a king, you're also a king. No, that means that you're also totally different. So this is a clear picture that what happened. It can't give me a surprise so much. It happened. We know every situation in the government, it has to take some people as a sacrifice. Those one are now sacrificed for the issue of Mabati, and now President Museveni is trying to give us a picture that, we should say, now he has done something good. This is just fooling Ugandans. There's nothing new. Whatever is happening, people who are behind this, they are still in the government.
Bugishu, where I come from, he has segregated us a lot. You can see that all the ministers that we had have been dropped. And for all the terms that have been passing, we have been having residues. Just a few ministers, a few state ministers. What is wrong? What did the region do to him? And they have voted him several times. He gets serious support from the region. What is happening? What has Devagishu done to him?
To him, he's now looking at how is he going to win the 2026 election. So he has to put people who are going to work hard for him to win the election. That's why you see young people like Balaam who have been there and have been doing their job, promoting Muhoozi. Now they are going to work very hard and promote the president to win 2026 election.
Not about supporting them. It's about targeting the region. We have typical thieves in the government who are more than Nandutu and Agnes. Why is it that they targeted them? Why is it that Lugolobi is still there? And he also stole the iron sheets. Why is he not out of the cabinet? What about the prime minister? What about Kasaija? So why is it that the region is the one that is targeting? That is my concern.
The ministers who are installing the Mabati thing came in and they were all dropped and replaced with people. Maybe this time we are going to see the cabinet that is honest and will do the job that expected by the public. Both looks more familiar with the law and a bit of law more than Sempija, which I think is going to do his job very well. That's according to my opinion.
The appointment of Balaam surprised me a lot, but I'm not against it because he has worked. He's a puppet for NRM. He has danced to all the tunes that NRM plays. So he deserved it.
Other changes in the reshuffle have seen General Wilson Mbasumbadi as the new Minister of State for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, replacing Harriet Ntabazi. Dr. Kenneth Omuna, formerly the Private Press Secretary, takes over the docket of the Minister of State, Office of the Prime Minister, Northern Uganda. Much as the reshuffle has left most of the cabinet intact, however, Mary Goreti Chitutu, Minister for Karamoja Affairs, and her Minister of State, Agnes Nandutu, have been dropped following the Karamoja Iron Sheet saga. Also dropped is Vincent Sempija, State Minister of Agriculture. He has been appointed as the presidential advisor. Nora Osende, Uctv News.
The Minister for Labour, Gender and Social Development, Betty Amongi, has tasked the newly inaugurated Labour Advisory Board lab to make sure all issues of employers and employees are worked upon, hence socio-economic development of the country. The 13-member board, chaired by Nicholas John Okwi, chairperson ex officio Federation of Uganda Employers Board, in close collaboration with various stakeholders, will ensure effective governance in the labor and employment affairs of the country to promote fair labor practices, protect workers' rights, and drive sustainable socio-economic growth.
When she has an issue at industrial court, she will walk and come, and has been lobbying for us to increase the judges from 2 to 5, which is what is in the current requirements. I want to thank you, the Honorable Member of Parliament, our Permanent Secretary, the Chairman and the Board of the Labour Advisory Board, the Chairman General of NOTU, the Secretary General NOTU, Executive Director, Federation of Uganda Employers, and all of you who are here in your various capacities. I want to, first of all, thank you and congratulate the members for the appointment. When it's necessary for you to burn the candle, I request you to burn the candle, because you're burning the candle for the greater good of the society, because we want to foster better employment practices, and that is a cornerstone. If you look at majority of the urban areas in the election, government doesn't do very well. And what I realized when I tried to tour the industries, that is where the complaints are. Actually, people say government has abandoned us. We are not seeing government to come and speak for us, to come and help us. Of course, our department also does not have enough financial capability to move and inspect and monitor and enforce. Those are some of the challenges that when the board also say we advise more financing, then there are added voices to add pressure on the financial aspect, because you are not going to be able to do this work without finance. At least this time we have the finance. We are sure we'll continue to have it, but still you can't work when the department is incapacitated. So we need to all have all of this. You will be able to look at the development review and implementation of policies and regulations to ensure that we improve the protection and promotion of the rights of the workers.
And finally, from our local stories, the Minister for Local Government, Raphael Magezi, has endorsed the local government own source revenue mobilization strategy, which he believes will enhance efficient service delivery at local levels. At the launch of the revenue mobilization strategy, Magezi stressed that with local governments collecting and managing their tax collections, they will be at liberty to dictate the revenue collected and will be able to know how it will be utilized to enhance service delivery.
But friends, the time for lamentation is over, because we cannot continue to rely on the government, central government transfers due to the competing requirements at the center. So this strategy now presents to us an opportunity to do more, because the more you collect as a local government, the more you exercise your autonomy and the more you spend on your local priorities. And you've heard the stories here. A district administration block set up using local revenue. A municipal council buying a grader within their budget of local revenue. I've seen a number of local government leaders, chairpersons and mayors being financed by their local governments to take a trip abroad, to go and negotiate for twinning with other local authorities, studying their role in environment protection, benchmarking on the best practices abroad. And all those that we have cleared are financed either by themselves or by their partners. Government is committed to support enhancement of local government own source revenue for better service delivery. Over the years, revenue mobilization efforts in local government have been constrained by the low tax base for local governments, interface from various actors, interference from the various actors, poor coordination of stakeholders, inadequacy of the necessary statistics and database, administrative weakness, poor utilization and management of the collected revenue, and accountability, and others. In furtherance of the objectives of fiscal decentralization and the empowerment of local decision-making, the Ministry of Local Government is committed to support the principle of own source revenue, and will work closely in collaboration with all the partners and the local governments to strengthen local government revenues. We have a duty to reduce over-reliance of local governments on transfers from the central government.
Thank you for watching Uctv News. It is time now for Today in History. Welcome back from that segment. Uctv News takes a break and we'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
Uctv, good news for all.
Catch incredible stories of resilience, success,
you can manage that money.
With a topping of inspiration.
Get interested in people, not interested in yourself.
Inspire, achieve, repeat.
You are watching Uctv, good news for all. For this and more, tune into Kasese Get Radio 100.5 in Western Region, located at the hill of the Diocese of Kasese. KGR brings you all Catholic programs and an advertising platform in all our radio shows like Good Morning Renzori, Chama Toboka, Ukute, the business show, Propeller, the request show and sports, Evaluation, Bahinga Bakuluka, Late Night Show, and many others. Our other services include Isuzu Tipa, a no car, public address system, live band, Omokekera, an audio recording studio, and outside live broadcast. For more information, call 0773-597-166 or visit our website www.kasesegatradio.com. Kasese Get Radio, Omusondoria, the voice of truth.
UCTV, good news for all.
And that closes our Friday edition of UCTV News. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch. Have the best of the weekend.